Right, John, we're down here at your awards, what you're going to be dishing out to all your fighters. But first of all, I'd like to talk about Sam, your superstar.
Yep, Sam's come on really well, and he's working hard, and he's just got the big fight with Frankie Gavin that's got the whole of Birmingham talking. So he's something for the other kids in the gym to look at and say, I can do that.
Yeah.
Because Sam's one of them. He does the same training as them. He's 21 years old. He didn't have a glittering amateur career. He's British Commonwealth WBC.
What was his amateur career then, John?
Won 32 fights. 31 fights. Lost 9. Won 23.
Oh, so it's not bad then.
Oh yeah, but I'm on about it wasn't. He won a novice. He won a novice title.
Yeah.
And then but he was boxing at super middle as an amateur. He was 12 stone, 12 and a half stone. He boxed one of Astley VIP's lads at 12 stone.
Who was that? Which one?
I can't remember. Damien told me Sam boxed on one of our shows at 12 stone. So he wasn't the most dedicated as an amateur. He basically says he'd go out with his mates, go and have a fight, and then go back out with his mates to the pub afterwards, basically. So, but now he's a welterweight, 6 foot tall, big for the weight, strong for the weight, super fit. And he keeps shocking people. People keep saying this is a 50-50 fight or a fight he's going to lose. And he don't just win them, he's winning them very comfortably. We
was talking before, wasn't we? And I was saying, I was one of those non-believers when he fought Denton Vassell. I thought, if he wins, it'll probably because, he's been out of the ring for a while. And so he perhaps didn't give him any credit, because then when I thought he was going to fight our lad Shane Singleton, I thought Shane was going to, walk through him. And you kept telling me, you've been telling me for a while, he'll beat him, and obviously you were right. And then it was
Lamptey was next, the African,
and
then Glenn Foot.
And again I thought Glenn would cause him trouble, but no, he made it easy again. The kid's special.
Do you know what he does the most? He works hard and he listens. If we set a plan out, Sam sticks to it, A, B, C, simple as that. And that's what we do. It's our job to find the plan and find what works. And that's why when I said to you when we chatted about Shane, I know how good Shane is because I've matched most of his fights.
Yep.
But matching most of his fights, I'd also seen him close up on a number of occasions. And like I says, styles-wise, there was a number of things that suited Sam that Shane does naturally that he couldn't change. So that's why I was very confident in that fight.
And you was confident?
Yeah, I was confident from the start. And you know what? I think Shane will go on to do good things. Because like I says to Shane afterwards, to him and Carl, we prepared like crazy because we know how good Shane is and we know how Carl would prepare him.
That was his first fight, was a full-time camp, wasn't it?
Yes, he got a sponsor after Denton Vassell.
Yeah.
And that was the first time he hadn't had to basically have a part-time job in camp. So he was training twice a day, full-time. And I think you've seen the difference since that.
Yeah.
But like I said, I expect Shane Singleton to win titles in future. I really do. He's a good kid. He just run into someone who I think is going to be a really, really good kid.
He's 21 years old.
Yes. And he run into him in a styles match that didn't suit Shane at all. I think that was like, it suited Sam, and Sam's going to be even better. But I think Shane's going to win titles after this. I really do, and I hope he does, because he's a nice lad and his trainer's a good guy.
His last 6 wins have all been inside the distance.
Yes, yeah. Well, to be fair, Sam would have more inside the distance wins, but when we matched him at the start, as I do, I matched him not in tough losing fights, although his first one was against an unbeaten kid away. I matched him in fights where he learnt.
Yeah.
And that's why he learnt early on, and then when it comes to the longer fights, that suits Sam. Yeah. Sam will grind most people down. He'll take what they've got, and then he gives back more.
Well, I think people are beginning to believe now, because we're talking, he's going in with Frankie Gavin.
Yes.
And if you would have said that 12 months ago, people would have laughed.
Yeah, they would have said it's not a match.
And not only that, he's now going into this fight with a lot of people who, in the know, like yourself and other people that are not in Sam's camp, who are actually tipping Sam to win, and to win by stoppage.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people who know what they're on about. To be fair, the bookies have got Frankie a slight favourite, which I kind of agree with. But Sam's going to win, because we know what we're doing. We know how he's training. We know how he's improving. But I can, it's the hardest fight of his career.
Of course it is.
But every time Sam has the hardest fight of his career, he puts in the best performance of his career.
Every fight that he's had since finishing prize fighter has bing the hardest fight.
Every time, there's been no gimmies for him, and that's why he's improved so much. And we've just got total confidence, and he's got total confidence in himself that we'll get the right game plan. He's going to be too big. He's too big for most welters, but he's going to be too big. His strength's improving. He's growing. He's actually touched 6 foot now. He was only 5'11" till last year. And he will do his game plan. He'll train hard enough, and he's going to come away still champion and do the job, and then move on to whatever comes next.
So I think we're safe to say that he's won Len's Award.
Yeah, Sam's going to pick up the Outstanding Achievements Award. You can't have 6 stoppage wins in a season against top kids, British Commonwealth and WBC International, and get overlooked.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's phenomenal, mate. Absolutely phenomenal. So, your other lads, we've got Corey Gibbs.
Yeah,
Corey, mentioned these lads.
Corey Gibbs is a young lad. He's 4-0. He's got a place on the Big Birmingham show. A super talented amateur. He won 55 of 58 as an amateur. He won numerous national titles. He was a GB representative. He's just been up sparring with Tommy Coyle for the Luke Campbell fights, and it was only after the second spar that they realised he wasn't actually a southpaw. He was sparring southpaw. He was doing a fight, doing Jamie Moore a good favour, and then when we told him no, he's actually an orthodox, they realised this kid's a good talent. Watch out for Corey, 21 years of age, and he's going places.
I missed the sparring, but when I went down there the next day, they was talking about him, and everyone said, yeah, it looks like a really good lad.
It's super talented, and do you know what was really good? Tommy being at the level he's at and how strong and tenacious he is, for once we actually seen Corey in a bit of a fight. Because usually he uses his skills as a top amateur who's just turned pro, that we don't get to see the best of him. But Tommy was in his face and roughing him up, hitting him low, as a good pro does. And Corey responded perfectly. And I really think this kid's got a future in the game, and people are going to see.
Now, has he had any full fights yet?
He's had 4. He's had 4.
All wins.
All wins. One stoppage. 3 points. Like I say again, like Sam, I've matched him to get the rounds under his belt.
Well, hopefully we'll have a little chat with Corey later.
Corey will be here. He'll have a you won't get much out of him. He's a quiet lad, but if you do, Lee, you're doing really well.
And who else have we got down here then?
Tonight we've also got Jordan Cook here. He's a Coventry living lad who's based with us. He's had all his pro fights with us. He's managed by Dave Caldwell, trained by us. Seems to be a great combination. He's had 5 fights.
I've heard Dave rave about him.
Yeah, he's won all 5. He had a great second round knockout over Ishmael Anwar, who's nobody's mug. The only person to stop Ishmael actually, and it was a curtains job, real good. He stopped Andy Harris as quick as Luke Campbell did. Stopped him in the first round. Then he's had a couple of points wins over a foreign lad and Yusuf Al Hamidi. And he had another points win, I can't remember who, but he's had 3 points wins, 2 stoppages, southpaw, tricky, can punch a bit, and he's really starting to grow with confidence. Jordan Cook, the assassin as he likes to be known, is one to look out for.
What was he won?
He's won best stoppage for his job over Anwar, because it was quite a frightening knockout over a good kid.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And what other awards are being dished out for the pro?
The other awards tonight, the most improved goes to Ryan Kelly.
All right.
Came to us, we knew he was a good amateur, and you could see that he's got a lot about him, but he's really kind of shed some of the amateur habits that didn't suit the pros. He's had two fights, won them both, stopped his first man, beat Kev McCauley every round in his second fight, give away a bit of weight as well. And Kev said afterwards, Kev really raved about him. And Kev's quite an honest, good, tough old pro. He'll tell you when someone has got something missing, and he'll tell you when you've got a kid who's a bit useful.
And he's beating with everyone, hasn't he?
Yes, yeah, and he really rated Ryan. So Ryan's getting the most improved award. Next is most dedicated. Now really, this should be a dead heat for all the pros, but it's not. There are some people who train harder than others, and there's some who will have the odd cake or the odd Chinese. Our most dedicated award goes to a unbeaten pro we've got, a kid called Natty Howell. 2 fights, he's won 1 on points, 1 by stoppage. Yeah. Natty lives the life, he really does.
I've got him on Facebook.
Yeah, he sometimes he actually overtrains. When we tell him to rest, we look and he's off training somewhere. He does his dieting perfectly, he's always close to the weight. Natty's the kind of kid, if you tell the amateurs to watch somebody to get the training right, Natty's the kind of kid that you want to watch. He's one of the most dedicated.
Natty the Natural.
Natty the Natural, that's him.
Yeah. Okay.
He was actually a footballer before a boxer. Quite a good level as well. Not as good as Curtis Woodhouse level, but a good level. The next one is Best Prospects. Now this is the one with the likes of Corey Gibbs and the likes of Jordan Cook and Ryan Kelly and Dan Breeze. This is one that we couldn't decide. We had about 4 names, and in the end, we went to some of the amateurs who were some of the pros who were not in the prospect category, some of the older guys, some of the more experienced, and we got them to help us out. Basically, as coaches, we couldn't decide. And the guy that the other pros come back with, the older pros, because they're sparring with him all the time, is a lad called Antonio Cunahan. Antonio has had 7 fights, won 7, knocked out 6. He's a lightweight. He's boxing on the Roy Jones show in Liverpool, and he's got his first real big step up. He's fighting a 14-0 guy who's stopped 12 of their opponents, and it's kind of the regard we hold him in that we're expecting Antonio to do a good job.
This is on the 12th of September.
Yeah, in Liverpool, yeah, on the Roy Jones Bill, the NBC show.
Tony Moran in it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And Tone's on there. It's his 8th fight, and he's boxing another unbeaten lad. He's getting our best prospect. And like I say, we couldn't decide that, so we got the feedback from some of the older pros, and they made the decision for us. Next one is best performance. Again, this was a tricky one. We had a few here. Cello Renda got a mention for his 3-round prize fighter with Jack Arnfield. Sam Eggington with Glenn Foote got a mention, but because of the Lenwood All Award where he won it for that kind of got phased out. So Christian Late against Carl Chadwick, he got a mention because, like I says on the day, Christian dedicated that to Len. Now, if you dedicate a win and you've won 20 and your opponent has lost 10 out of 15, it's nice, but it's not the same. Christian had won 9 fights out of 219. He was going against the unbeaten kid away from home. Now he says, I'm going to win this fight for Len Woodall.
Put it on Facebook.
He put it on there before. Now that's a dedication, because he went out and he got his 10th win. So you know he worked his arse off for that. So that got a mention. But the fight that is going to win best performance is Craig Cunningham winning the Midlands area title against the defending champion Dave Davis away from home, and he suffered a cut in the 3rd round that could have really put some lads off.
Yeah.
And he went over there and he beat the defending champion. He won the title on points away from home. Craig Cunningham gets the best performance for that performance. The best KO, have I mentioned this one? Or?
I think you did, was the...
Jordan Cook, Jordan, yeah, so you got that one. The best fight. Do you know what? Marcus French has won it, which makes no surprise because he won the Midlands Award for best fight last year with his fight with Callum Cooper. The fight this year that he won the award for, he actually lost the fight against Ismail Anwar. They both hit the deck. They were both bloodied and bruised, and the last round the whole place was on its feet. He lost it by a point or 2, and to be fair, we don't try and lie to our lads. Me and Soggy both thought he just lost it, and we had no problem with the referee's decision. But once again, Mr. Excitement, he's kind of making these trophies his own. Marcus French wins Fight of the Year for his absolute barnstormer against Ismail Anwar. Best boxer. To be fair, a little bit unfair, because we've got some lads who are doing great in the gym and they'd win best boxer at 9 out of 10 gyms all over the place. But when you're in the gym with somebody who's won 6 fights out of 6, stopped all of them, he's won the British, the Commonwealth, the WBC International, he's boxed away from home, he's boxed live on TV, he's boxed on Sky. There's only going to be one guy who wins best boxer, and that's the savage Sam Eggington. But I want you other lads to be looking at that and thinking, that's my trophy next year. The Lenwood All Award, we spoke about that, haven't we?
Yeah.
Sam wins that.
Yeah.
And that's... I'd like to give a mention to some of our other boxers. We've got some great fighters coming through. We just had a new guy join us, Craig Wilshire. Dan Breeze, who hasn't won an award. Although, if there was an award for the most talented least trainer, that'd be Dan. And you know what?
I could have pushed him on that one.
Yeah, you and him could have an exhibition. Thing is, Lee, he's about your weight and he's meant to be a pro boxer. But Dan is one of the most talented lads I've seen. And I'm hoping in the last few months I've seen him turn a corner training-wise. Because talent-wise, there's not many people who hold a candle to him. But at 19, he's enjoying life. And like I say, I think I've seen him turn a corner. But watch out for Dan Breeze, because if he starts putting the effort that Antonio Cunahan, Jordan Cook, Ryan Kelly, Sam Eggington are putting in, you will see Dan Breeze winning titles without a doubt. Some of the other lads, like I say, a new kid just joined us, Craig Wilshire, big hitter, likes to hit people a bit too much. We've got to show him a little bit of craft, but I think he's going to do well. We spoke about Antonio Jordan. We've also got a guy who's got his big chance on this bill, a guy called Carl Wiggins. Now, Carl started the game very late. He's a cousin of one of your friends, D. Mitchell.
All right.
He's 8-1, and he's got a chance at the Midlands title. It's a tough fight. He's the challenger, but if he's very prepared, he's a bit like Natty Howell. He does everything just right, and that's Carl's big chance. Also on the bill, we have got Jordan, Dan, Corey. We spoke about. Someone else I want to talk about. He hasn't had a profile yet. He's Tion Gibbs. Corey Gibbs' younger brother.
How old is he?
He's 20.
Yep.
Corey's 21, he's 20. Tion, I think, is going to make a great pro. He's going to be having his first fight in October. He wasn't quite as decorated as Corey as an amateur, but that's no big deal because not many people was. He did win a national title. He had stacks of fights. He fought the best at short notice. Keep an eye open for Tion Gibbs. I think he's going to be a good little fighter. We've got stacks more fighters in the gym. We've got, I think, 14, 15.
Well, let's put it this way. You do have the majority of, I know it's a horrible word to say, but so-called journeymen, as in the likes of D. Mitchell, Maxwell was towards the end of his career there. You've got Brett Feidel.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just...
Brett's turning that tag around.
Yeah.
Brett wants to turn that tag around. Brett wants to be a champion, and this season...
Well, he fights like one though.
Yeah, I think...
It gives it all. So
Brett's been with us 6 fights now, and the jib's rubbing off on him. And the lads like Christian and D, they've made these prospects what they are, because... Yeah. You know, most prospects have to have real fights against tough, hard road warriors to get that experience. Luckily, my guys get it in the gym all the time, and they learn all them tricks in the gym. And then they've got the likes of Sam and Max and people like that to give them the next level of sparring. The guys who've fought and won British titles. So, you know, we've got a nice mixture. But the reason why our gym is so successful is that everyone sticks together. Yeah. We've got guys who fight on the road who help them guys to learn. We've got guys who are coming through and learning. We've got champions. We've got Cello Render is at our gym. He lives in Peterborough.
How many actual pro fighters fight from Eastside?
Well, D. Mitchell actually trains in Manchester.
I know he's
with you, but he's still one of our lads, and we still count him as one of ours because he had, he had more fights at our gym than most people have had in a career.
Well, he's almost 100 fights now, isn't he?
Yeah. He's in the late 80s, but D's got a couple more seasons if he keeps in shape. But I think we've got about 17 or 18 active pros with a couple of new ones that have just signed up. And like I say, when I'm trying to remember them, I feel terrible because there's that many of them. Sometimes when people interview me in the gym, I have to go and find a poster to remember all our lads. But you know what? They're all none of them are going to need me to talk about them because they're all going to make their own mark. Well, and they're all making their own mark at the moment.
When you tell me things now, I begin to believe you, John.
Yes,
I doubted you several times, and every time I've been proved wrong. So
do you know what, Lee? Me and Sam went and had a chat with Barry Hearn, and Barry sat there and he said some things to us, and me and Sam looked at each other and was like, no chance. Everything he said has come true. Sometimes people chat to you who've got a little bit of inside knowledge that you ain't, like I was seeing Sam in the gym every day, so it's easy for me to know. But when Barry telling us stuff, we was like, that don't happen for people like us. And sometimes that little bit of inside knowledge, people tell you things, and then afterwards you're like, I'm going to listen to that guy next time if he tells me to have a bet. And there's always, in boxing, there's always someone who gives you a bit of knowledge and tells you about a kid. And you learn to trust some people, and you think, well, if he's telling me, they mean it.
I'm going to have to start listening to a few people. I don't even listen to myself though. I was going to bet on Ricky Hatton. When Ricky was 14, he come away with us to Germany, and when he turned pro, it was with Steve Foster and my mate Lee Whitehead and all the lads I knew. I was in the middle of it, and I said he'll be a world champion.
And you didn't bet?
I know I didn't. Absolute idiot, I tell you.
Yeah.
So but I must admit, I think.
But you know what? I'm going to give you a hit. I'm going to give you a tip now.
Go on then.
When you see young Spider come up for best junior, put a bet on him being world champion.
Right.
Seriously, put a bet on him. He's 14 now. Put a bet on him being world champion, Lee.
And anyone watches this, listen to that then.
Spider, It's no good me saying his name because we only know him as Spider. His little brother's Tarantula. You bet on Spider becoming a world champion, and you'll get good odds. And you watch that kid go.
Jon Pegg, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Thank you, Lee. Good as always.
Take care, mate.
Awesome.